The greatest general in history, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, born in 356 BC, is remembered as one of history's most fearsome military leaders. Ascending to the throne of Macedonia at just 20 years old, he embarked on a historic campaign that would see him conquer large areas, including the Persian Empire and parts of India. In this video, we will go through 7 key points that illustrate why Alexander the Great is often regarded as the greatest general in history. Number 7. Early life and education. King Philip II and Queen Olympias welcomed Alexander the Great into the world in Pella, the capital of Macedonia, in 356 BCE. Philip II was a great king who had united most of Greece's city-states under Macedonian rule, creating a formidable kingdom. Therefore, his lineage was noteworthy. Alexander's parents fostered his exceptional brilliance and ambition, which were evident from a young age. He was first educated at home, but at the age of 13, he started receiving formal instruction from the philosopher Aristotle. Alexander received a thorough education from Aristotle, one of the greatest minds of antiquity, including topics like science, philosophy, literature, and ethics. Number 6. Unification of Greece. When Alexander ascended to the throne following the murder of his father in 336 BCE, he was immediately challenged by a number of Greek city-states that wanted to establish their independence. He took decisive action because he saw that retaining control over Greece was essential to his goals against Persia. When Thebes rebelled against Macedonian dominion in 335 BCE, he besieged the city, marking his first significant military engagement. As a clear signal to other city-states considering rebellion, Alexander ordered the destruction of Thebes and enslaved its citizens when the siege ended in a bloody assault. This brutal demonstration of power cemented Alexander's standing as a strong leader and successfully restored Macedonian supremacy over Greece. After this triumph, he organized the Greek states into the Corinthian League, which vowed allegiance to him and united Greece under his rule against a shared foe. Number 5. Conquest of the Persian Empire. Alexander's battle against the Persian Empire, which is arguably his most notable accomplishment, was marked by a number of audacious military actions that demonstrated his leadership abilities and tactical brilliance. With an army of some 35,000 troops, he traveled into Asia Minor in 334 BCE. Considering the logistical difficulties of such a campaign, this was an amazing force. He defeated a far bigger Persian force in a decisive victory in his first significant fight at the Granicus River, which established the tone for his campaign and showed that he could motivate and effectively lead his troops. After this triumph, he proceeded southward into Asia Minor, defeating Darius III, a significant figure in Persian history who aimed to retake lost lands, in another pivotal battle at Issus in 333 BCE. His campaign culminated in the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE, where Alexander's strategic genius triumphed once more, despite encountering an army that greatly exceeded his own estimates indicate Darius had around 100,000 soldiers. Alexander's forces won handily as a result of his creative use of flanking maneuvers and forceful horse attacks, which took advantage of Darius's formation's flaws. Number 4. Military innovations. Alexander is renowned for his creative military tactics that transformed combat in his day and established new benchmarks for upcoming military leaders. The Macedonian phalanx, a compact infantry formation equipped with long spears known as sarissas, which offered both offensive and defensive power on the battlefield, was essential to his victory. With this arrangement, he was able to assist the cavalry flanks during battles and build an unbreakable wall of warriors that could withstand enemy attacks. Alexander was renowned for his ability to adjust his tactics according to the circumstances on the battlefield. In order to successfully counter enemy strengths, he frequently changed his plans in the middle of a battle. His use of staged retreats, for example, to entice Persian troops into weak spots before counterattacking with his highly mobile horse divisions during the Battle of Gaugamela, not only confused opposing forces but also took advantage of their arrogance. More adaptability in battle situations was made possible by his incorporation of different troop types, such as light infantry and archers, into unified formations. He recognized that different forces might be used to good advantage based on the terrain and adversary makeup. Alexander also made sure that he had thorough knowledge of opponent positions and topographical advantages long in advance of battles by prioritizing reconnaissance and intelligence gathering. Number 3. Cultural integration. In addition to achieving military victory, Alexander's campaigns promoted important East-West cultural exchanges that influenced civilization long after he was dead. He established more than 20 cities named Alexandria as he marched across conquered lands, including Greece, Asia Minor, Egypt, and beyond. Alexandria in Egypt rose to prominence as a thriving hub where local customs, Greek language, art, and philosophy coexisted with Greek culture. Alexander's larger goal was to establish a single kingdom where many peoples could live side by side under Hellenistic principles while preserving their individual identities, and this cultural blending was not only a byproduct. Alexander himself married Roxana, a Bactrian princess, as a symbol of this merging at the highest level imaginable within society at the time. He actively promoted intermarriage between his soldiers and local women in order to promote unity among many cultures. Number 2. Legacy of Hellenism. The period that followed Alexander's conquest is referred to as the Hellenistic period. It was during this time that Greek culture spread throughout large areas, from Greece to India, after his death in 323 BCE. This was largely because of the work done during his reign, which created the conditions for this process of cultural diffusion to occur efficiently over such great distances so rapidly. Since many previously isolated regions were connected by trade routes established during Alexander's earlier campaigns, there was an increase in cross-cultural interaction during this time. The emphasis on Greek language and culture helped diverse peoples within these newly formed empires communicate with one another, which had positive social and intellectual effects in addition to economic ones. The emergence of philosophers like Epicurus, scientific breakthroughs made possible by the cooperation of scholars from different backgrounds. The emergence of realism in sculptures created during this period, and the rise of democratic ideals in governance all had a significant impact on later political thought throughout history. Number 1. Untimely death and aftermath. The cause of Alexander's untimely death in 323 BCE at the age of 32 while living in Babylon under mysterious circumstances is still up for debate among historians. Some historical accounts attribute his death to typhoid or malarial fever, which may have been brought on by environmental factors present in Babylon during the hot summer months, or to poisoning that resulted from political rivalries surrounding court intrigues. His untimely death left a power vacuum that plunged a vast empire into chaos. Since there was no obvious successor capable of preserving such disparate territories across 3 continents, infighting among generals known as diadochi began, and they fought for control of various regions for decades, ultimately causing the former unified realm that he had previously established to fragment. Alexander's life narrative continues to inspire leaders throughout history because of his remarkable accomplishments at such a young age and his enduring legacy that are still relevant today. Despite the fragmentation that followed his death, the cultural changes he started persisted through succeeding centuries. His impact can be seen in many areas, such as military strategy and tactics, diplomacy, as demonstrated by alliances and cultural exchange, which is evident in the art and literature created as a result of his incredible lifelong journey filled with adventure and conquest. In conclusion, Alexander the Great's reputation as one of the greatest generals in history is cemented by his unique blend of military prowess, strategic insight, and cultural influence. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.